You were not born to shrink into shadows. You were born to dominate the scene of your life, like the lead role in a grand play. Every atom of your being is charged with infinite power, the kind that bends the world to your will. You don't have to ask for permission. You don't need applause to know you're magnificent. The only thing required of you is to assume, to embody the truth that you already are the best. Feel it now, not tomorrow, not someday, now. Let the feeling of being unmatched, unequaled, unrivaled flood your senses. Let it take root in the secret place within you where all things are born. That is where the world is shaped, in the unseen, in the silence, in the imagination made real through faith and conviction. You don't wait to be crowned king, you walk as if the crown is already resting on your head. And by doing so, the world bows. Every moment is an opportunity to become what you already are. You are not hoping for greatness. You are greatness remembering itself. Look at the world around you. It's not separate from you. It moves to the rhythm of your inner state. You command, it responds. You expect, it delivers. You imagine, it forms. You must speak within yourself with authority. Say it like you mean it. I am the best. No one is better than me. Not from ego, not from arrogance, but from divine certainty. Because what you assume to be true, persistently and passionately, must come to pass. The law cannot be broken. Stop looking outside for validation. The mirror only reflects what you place before it. Change the image you hold of yourself, and the entire world rearranges to reflect your new belief. Don't ask if it's possible. Assume that it is. Live from the end. Walk as though the race is already won, because it is, because you've declared it so. The greatest secret is that you don't have to wait for anything to happen. You decide, and then you persist. The moment you claim the identity of the best, the universe conspires to make it true. It will bend, shift, and open doors no man can shut, not because you begged, but because you knew. So stand tall, speak your name like thunder, own every room you walk into, not by force, but by presence. You don't need to prove, only to be, because you are the best, and when you know it, the world knows it too. When you close your eyes and dare to feel yourself at the summit of success, you shift reality. You aren't waiting for confirmation, you're giving it. The moment you feel yourself as the best, the most powerful, the most magnetic force in any room, you become it. The world is only reflecting your conviction. It cannot help it. It is under your command because you live as though what you desire is already yours. This is not about arrogance. This is not a competition. You're not better to diminish anyone else. You're simply not available for anything less than the highest expression of who you are. You are playing your role with full authority, full confidence, full presence, and in doing that, you call others higher too. You radiate so powerfully that you give others permission to shine. But never forget, you are the source, the center, the cause. Nothing outside you has power unless you give it permission. Doubt only exists when you invite it. Fear has no teeth unless you feed it. Your assumption is the throne from which your entire world is ruled. So if you sit in that throne and declare, I am the greatest, no one surpasses me, then the world bows to that decree. Not because it flatters you, but because that is the law of being. You do not chase, you do not beg, you magnetize, you assume, you walk into rooms not looking for acceptance, but bringing the atmosphere. You are the atmosphere, your energy speaks before you say a word. That's power, that's creation, that's presence. It's not about being loud, it's about being certain. That unwavering, silent, unshakable knowing that says, I belong at the top. I was born for this. Do not wait for accolades, you validate yourself. You praise yourself. You build yourself in the silence of your own mind and let the world catch up to your vision. You do not ask if you're worthy, you assume that you are. And because you do, every situation bends in your favor. Not sometimes, always, because you have moved into a state where your greatness is not questioned, it is simply expressed. You do not argue for your limits, you do not entertain mediocrity. You have no time to waste convincing others. Let them doubt, let them wonder. You stay on your throne and let your life do the talking. You are the embodiment of excellence. You are the picture of mastery. Every move you make, every word you speak, carries the vibration of one who knows their place at the top is not up for debate. Even when it looks like the world isn't moving, you are. Even when no one else sees it, you do. Even when it seems like circumstances contradict your vision, you persist. You persist because you know that your inner state is the seed and the harvest must come. You know that no matter what appears, it cannot override the law. The feeling of being the best, sustained, held, and repeated, must become form. It must. There is no maybe, only law, only truth. You do not compromise, you do not shrink, you do not water down your power to make others comfortable. Your shine is not negotiable. You walk in your full glory not because someone handed it to you, but because you remembered who you are. And in that remembering, you reclaim the crown. You no longer ask, can I? You declare, I am. And that declaration is the beginning and end of every miracle. You don't need circumstances to prove it. You don't wait for the evidence. You are the evidence. You are the cause. You are the alpha point of all things in your world. When you wake up in the morning, the world reorders itself based on who you believe you are. Believe small, you live small. Believe bold, you live bold. And when you believe you are the best, the greatest, the highest version walking, everything reflects that belief. You dress like the best, you speak like the best, you carry yourself with the poise and fire of someone who doesn't entertain second place. You walk as if every step is a proclamation. I am here and I am everything I say I am. You do not shrink from challenges, they shrink from you. Obstacles dissolve in your presence because you do not recognize them as stronger than your vision. The world is not your master, it is your mirror. So when you hold the image of yourself as unmatched, unstoppable, untouchable, the world reflects it back without hesitation. You no longer seek opportunities, you become the opportunity. People look at you and feel the shift. You are no longer hoping, you are manifesting. You are not waiting, you're creating. Every room you walk into becomes an extension of your inner certainty. That's the kind of power no one can give you, because it's already yours. You rise above noise, above distractions, above fear. You are not a product of conditions, you are the author of them. You don't react, you command. You don't wish, you assume, and your assumptions carry the force of universal law behind them. The moment you feel it as true, you become the vessel through which it is made real, and once you become it, no one can take it from you. Others may doubt, hesitate, question. That's not your business. Your business is knowing. Your business is embodying. Your business is walking with the posture of someone who knows they're untouchable. Someone who looks in the mirror and sees not just potential, but power realized. You don't ask for the spotlight, you are the light. And everything else simply revolves around your radiance. Even in stillness, you move worlds. Even in silence, your energy speaks volumes. You have become so rooted in your identity as the best that anything less simply doesn't register. You're not faking it. You are it. You live it. You breathe it. You see it before your eyes, not because you begged for it, but because you chose to feel it long enough that the world had no choice but to deliver. Every breath you take, every step you walk, every goal you set is already complete in the unseen. You don't need to figure out the how. That's not your job. Your job is to live from the end, to move like the thing is done, to talk like the deal is sealed, to smile like the victory is guaranteed, because it is. Because you said so. The crown isn't given to those who wait. It's worn by those who decide, and you have decided. You have crossed the line where doubt dies and only certainty remains. You are no longer asking to rise, You are already risen, already crowned, already established as the one who sets the standard. You are not average, you are the benchmark. You are not hoping to be seen, you are the one being looked at. And that is not boastful, that is alignment, that is truth, that is power flowing without resistance. You are not trying to convince the world of anything, you are simply expressing what's already fact within you. You've assumed the highest, and you refuse to let go of that assumption. And so life bows, doors open, people take notice, results flood in, not because you chased, but because you embodied. Every second you remain in this state, your world transforms. Every time you say, I am the best, with full conviction, reality bends. You are not subject to the rules of doubt, limitation, or lack. You transcend them. You move through life as a master, a creator, a force. And no one, not time, not circumstance, not opinion, can take that from you. You are not here to fit in. You are here to reign. You are not here to try. You are here to be. Be the one who already has it, already is it, already lives it. You do not wait for the world to agree. You lead the world to your vision by the power of your belief, because you are the best and you know it. And that knowing is enough. That knowing is everything. You stand in the middle of your world as the immovable center. Everything else is motion, everything else is rearranging, adjusting, responding to the signal you radiate from within. The world is not solid, it is fluid. It takes the shape of your assumption, and your assumption is law. When you decide that no one is greater than you, when you claim the identity of the best with unwavering certainty, the world becomes a mirror reflecting back only that version of yourself. It doesn't matter where you were born, what your past looked like, or what anyone has ever said about you. Those are shadows, echoes. They only persist if you give them attention. You are not bound by what was. You are defined by what you assume now. In this instant, that's where the power lies. Not in yesterday, not in some distant future, but in the moment you choose to believe differently. In the moment you take your power back and say, I am not just capable, I am incapable. You walk as if the ground is blessed by your steps. You speak as if your voice carries authority that cannot be questioned. And it does. Because you are no longer doubting who you are. You are no longer seeking from the outside what you've already claimed on the inside. You are the source. And your inner state is the origin of all that manifests. The truth is simple. The world reflects you. Not your effort, not your struggle, not even your words alone. It reflects your state, your dominant feeling of who you are. So if you feel like the greatest, the most extraordinary, the rarest and highest version walking, the mirror must reflect that back. It is law. And you are the lawmaker. Let others wait for proof. You don't need proof. You are the proof. Your certainty makes it real. Your faith in yourself is the blueprint upon which your life is built. And the world will mold itself to fit that belief, just as clay responds to the sculptor's hands. But you are not using hands. You are using imagination, feeling, assumption. That is the creative force. That is what shapes everything. Others may call it delusion. Let them. You're not here to argue. You're here to demonstrate. You are the walking evidence of belief in motion. And those who once doubted will ask how you did it, but you will know. It was never about how. It was about who you decided to be. The world didn't change first, you did. And the world had no choice but to follow. There's no room for hesitation in a mind that knows its own power. You don't look left or right. You don't compare. You don't ask for consensus. You look inward. You assume the throne. You embody the role. And as you persist in that assumption, the outer begins to reflect the inner like clockwork. You do not chase excellence. You are the embodiment of it. You don't run after recognition. You command it with your presence. And if no one else claps for you, you clap for yourself. If no one else sees it, you see it. That is enough. Because your belief is the origin, your feeling is the cause, your vision is the seed from which your entire reality blooms. Every time you hold the feeling of being the best, of being untouchable, of being divinely chosen, you rewrite the script. Every time you ignore the external and return to the knowing within, you reclaim your power. It doesn't matter what appears to be happening. Appearances are fleeting. They're the result of old assumptions. And you are not interested in the old. You are birthing the new. You are living from the end. And the end says, I win, I rise, I reign. So you keep walking even when it seems nothing is moving. You keep affirming even when no one else believes. Because you don't live by their doubts, you live by your knowing. You have burned the bridge behind you. You're not going back. You're not wondering if it's possible. You've already declared it's done. And in that declaration, all things are made new. There is no force more magnetic than someone who knows who they are, who doesn't waver, who doesn't second guess, who lives from their vision with fire in their soul and stillness in their spirit. That's what you are. You don't need to prove it through effort. You become it through embodiment, through assumption, through a calm, inner certainty that says, of course, this is who I am. I couldn't be anything less. You don't explain, you don't justify, you exude, you radiate. And as you do, the world falls into place like puzzle pieces drawn to the frequency of your belief. That is alignment. That is mastery. That is what it means to live as the best, not because someone gave you a title, but because you assumed it first and life confirmed it later. Feel the power in your body now, not as something to acquire, but something to remember. It has always been yours. You were never meant to fit in. You were born to stand out. Not from ego, but from design. Your uniqueness is your superpower. And when you own it fully, unapologetically, relentlessly, you become unstoppable. You become undeniable. You become a force that cannot be ignored. So walk like it's already done, speak like it's already yours, move like the one who has nothing to prove and everything to express. You don't wait for the crown, you wear it. You don't hope for the light, you are the light. And when you live that truth every moment, the world rearranges to honor you. Because it must. You are the beginning of everything. You are the one, the best, the highest expression. And when you claim that, not as fantasy, but as fact, reality bends to your will, not because you forced it, but because you assumed it. And the assumption was sustained, and in that sustaining, all things became possible. You've stopped looking at the scoreboard. You've stopped checking if others believe. You've stopped questioning the path. You've already won. You know it. You feel it. You embody it. And that knowing becomes the foundation on which every victory is built. You don't need loud celebration. Your stillness is your statement. Your energy is your evidence. Your results are your resonance. You walk through life with the quiet confidence of a ruler, not needing to convince because your reality speaks for itself. And if it doesn't yet, wait, because it will, because you've spoken it internally, persistently, powerfully, and nothing can stop the one who knows they are already what they've decided to be. You're not trying to become, you already are. You're not asking, you're declaring. You're not hoping, you're being. And in being, you bypass delay, you collapse time, you eliminate doubt. You don't need signs, you are the sign. You don't seek proof, you are the proof. You walk with a sense of inevitability because nothing is more certain than a soul aligned with its truth. You hold your vision close. You cherish it, you feed it, you protect it from doubt, from fear, from small thinking. You treat it like sacred fire, and it responds. It grows. It consumes everything unlike itself, until only the reality of what you have chosen remains. This is your power. This is your inheritance. Not earned, remembered, not fought for, claimed, You are not asking life for permission anymore. You are stating your truth and letting the world rearrange itself in obedience. Because you know now, you know who you are the best. And no one, no circumstance, no opinion, no delay can change that. Because you've assumed it. And what you assume, you become. You rise each morning not to see what the day will bring, but to bring yourself into the day with such unshakable presence that everything must align. You don't wait for the mood, the motivation, or the perfect moment. You are the moment. You create the energy. You are the standard by which life moves. The moment your eyes open, the day begins to take shape around your identity, your certainty, your silent decree. I am the greatest. I am unmatched. I am the origin point of all that is good, powerful, and magnetic in my life. To excellency. You don't plead for opportunities, you breathe them into existence. You don't chase dreams, you live them now in mind and feeling, knowing the outer world must follow suit. There is no exception, there is no delay, except that which you allow through disbelief. And you do not entertain disbelief, not anymore. That's not your language. That's not your state. You speak fluently in the language of certainty. You walk fluently in the posture of arrival. You move through life with the full force of someone who has already become. You don't argue for greatness, you live it. You don't talk about what's coming, you declare what already is. And even if no one else sees it, you see it. You feel it. That's enough. That's all that's ever been needed. Your assumption is the fire, and from that fire all things are forged. People spend their lives reacting to the world, but not you. You've stepped into your creative authority. You've realized that the world bends not to the loudest voice, but to the clearest vision, the deepest knowing. Every thought is a seed, every feeling is a builder, every assumption is a decree, and you no longer plant weeds. You no longer speak smallness. You no longer water the lie that says, you must wait your turn. You are the turn. You are the now. And because you hold this in your heart with reverence, the world opens up like a book written just for you. Others may question the path, demand the how, wait for the evidence. But you are too deep in the knowing to entertain those questions. You're not concerned with how anymore, because you are operating from the who. And who you are is enough to collapse timelines, to move mountains, to shift everything in your favor. You are the cause. You are the current. You are the sun that all else orbits around. You are not here to repeat what's been done. You are here to define what's possible, to blaze a trail so fierce, so bold, so certain, that the world has no choice but to adjust to your frequency. When you walk into a room, the atmosphere shifts, not because you demand attention, but because you carry presence. You are not hoping to be seen, you are the vision itself. Not hoping to be heard, you are the voice. Not trying to impress, you are the message. You are not swayed by appearances, you do not flinch at setbacks. You are too rooted in your identity to be disturbed by temporary contrast. If the world around you looks slow to catch up, that's fine. You hold the inner vision, you nurture the inner flame, you persist without forcing, because you know that assumption sustained is power activated, and power activated is reality restructured. You are not the echo, you are the origin. You are not the follower, you are the blueprint. People will look back one day and wonder how you did it. They'll ask how you broke the mold. And you'll know it wasn't about effort, struggle, or logic. It was about knowing. It was about becoming. It was about stepping into the feeling of already being the best and refusing to step out. You don't rehearse confidence, you are confidence. You don't borrow belief, you embody belief. You don't ask for proof, you are the walking manifestation of what it means to trust yourself so fully that the world must agree. Every second you hold this state, the unseen responds. It conspires. It moves pieces you cannot see to deliver what you have already received internally. And the beautiful thing, You don't need anyone's approval. You don't need the applause, because when you stand in your power, you become a silent storm, a force that cannot be denied. You don't have to raise your voice to be felt. You don't have to prove your worth to be valued. You exist in worth. You radiate value. And that alone is enough to command the highest outcomes, the best experiences, the most aligned people. You're not afraid of being too much. You were never meant to be small. You were meant to be limitless. You were meant to walk like royalty, speak like prophecy, and create like divinity. Every time you doubt, you interrupt the flow. But when you know, when you hold that knowing like gold in your spirit, life rushes in to meet it. And that's what you do now. You hold the knowing. You refuse to drop it. And when the world tries to test you, tries to pull you into fear, you smile, because you see it for what it is, the final echo of an old self, begging for attention. But you're no longer available for that identity. You're no longer answering to smallness. You don't even speak its language anymore. You've risen into a new state, a state where your greatness is not questioned, it is lived. You have become so committed to your inner vision that nothing can shake you. You don't chase alignment, you are alignment. You don't seek clarity, you are clarity. You are not building confidence from the outside in, you are drawing it from the wellspring within, from the eternal truth that says you are already it. You always have been. And because you live from that truth, you operate with boldness, you take steps others won't take because you know something they don't. You know who you are. And that knowing is everything. That knowing removes hesitation. It dissolves fear. It clears the path, not because the world changes, but because you have changed, and the world reflects you without fail. You are not concerned with competition. There is no competition when you are the original. There is no threat when you are the template. There is no race when you've already arrived. Others may measure success in numbers, in noise, in metrics, but you measure it in energy, in impact, in the silent resonance of a life lived from truth. And truth is what you carry now, effortlessly, unapologetically, unshakably. You don't need to scream your greatness from the rooftops. Your energy announces it before you speak. Your results echo it before you act. Because you've gone to the root, you've shifted self, and from there all else shifts. You've mastered the inner game, and the outer is now catching up in perfect sequence. You've assumed the highest, and the highest is now assuming you. Everywhere you go, doors open. Not because you push, but because you arrive. Not because you chase, but because you are. Your presence becomes the answer, your assumption becomes the key, your identity becomes the gatekeeper, and it only permits what aligns with your greatness. You are not limited by time, you are not held back by circumstances, you are not delayed by anyone else's doubt. The only thing that ever mattered was your own self-concept. And now that you've aligned with the highest version of yourself, the world can do nothing but align with you. That's not theory. It's law. So you continue to move, not as one waiting, but as one who knows. You continue to speak, not to convince, but to declare. You continue to imagine, not with hope, but with creative certainty. Every moment becomes the stage where your greatness plays out, and everyone around you begins to feel it, even if they don't understand it. They sense it, they respond to it, they're drawn to it. And the best part? You're just getting started, because now you know. Now you've stepped into the identity that doesn't settle, doesn't shrink, doesn't question its own worth. You are the best, not in comparison, but in expression, not in competition, but in alignment. And from this place, nothing is denied to you. Nothing is too big, nothing is out of reach, because it's already within you, and what's within must become without. And so you walk not toward, but as the one who already is, as the one who has already become, as the best, without apology, without hesitation, and without limit. There is no pause in your power, no off switch. You are in constant creation, whether you are aware or not. But now you are aware. Now you know that everything you think, feel, and assume is forming the next scene in your reality. You've claimed the role of the director, the writer, the lead actor in the masterpiece of your life. And because of that, you no longer entertain the idea of limitation. You no longer flirt with doubt or dress your dreams in fear. You live in the knowing, and that knowing does the work. You are not asking for life to be fair. You're not hoping for chances. You decide, and the world responds. You don't walk through life wondering what will happen. You walk through life deciding what must, because you carry the final word. You have removed your power from people, from systems, from noise, and you have pulled it back into your own consciousness where it always belonged. Your internal world is no longer a battlefield, it is a throne room, and you sit on that throne not as a beggar hoping for scraps, but as a creator declaring the feast. You know what you are. You are not waiting for signs. You are the shift. And everything in your life bends to the frequency you now embody. You do not explain your power. You live it. You express it. Through your calm, through your clarity, through your quiet certainty that makes the loudest noise without saying a word. You are no longer reactive. You are generative. You are not surprised by the good that finds you. You are expectant. Because you've already experienced it within, and because it lives within, it must appear without. The seen is only the echo of the unseen, and you live in the unseen with mastery now. The version of you that doubted, hesitated, apologized, that version has dissolved. It cannot survive in this light. You do not entertain it. You do not revisit it. You do not grieve it. You outgrew it. And now you walk in newness, in authority, in alignment with the truth that was always there, waiting to be claimed. You are the best. Not best as in better than others, best as in fully aligned with yourself, best as in most aware, most conscious, most you, and in that authenticity lies your power. In that wholeness lies your magnetism. You don't copy, you don't imitate, you radiate, you emanate a signal so pure, so focused, so unshakably aligned that the universe must mirror it. There is no other outcome. Even your silence speaks volumes now. Even your stillness is electric. You walk with an energy that communicates everything, that you know who you are, that you need nothing to validate it, and that you are not looking for evidence. You are the evidence. You are no longer becoming, you are. You are living the identity of the one who has already arrived, and from that identity all outcomes are born. You no longer pray from desperation, you speak from fulfillment. You no longer visualize with longing, you see with certainty. You are no longer hoping for miracles, you breathe as one. The world doesn't give you confidence, you bring confidence to the world. You bring presence, you bring order, you bring the vibration of completion, of done, of decided, and the world must submit to your decision. You don't wait for alignment, you command it through your state, through your frequency, through the unwavering assumption that you are the best and the best is all you know. Your world does not shift by force, it shifts by law, by resonance, by the nature of who you are choosing to be in every moment. And who you are choosing to be now is one with nothing to chase and everything to be. You walk as one who already holds it all, not from arrogance, but from truth. From the divine truth that says all things are yours because you have accepted that they already are, that you already are. You are not separate from what you desire, you are one with it, and your only job is to live in that union, to walk in that state, to breathe it in and let it pour out of you in everything you do, everything you touch, everything you create. You are no longer seeking value, you are the value. You are no longer proving your worth, you embody it. and those who once overlooked you will wonder how they missed it. But you won't need to explain. Your existence will be explanation enough. Your presence will tell the story without needing words. You have risen, you have remembered, you have taken your rightful place as the one who no longer reacts, but creates. And you create not from force, but from identity, from the still, magnetic core of your being, from the place where all things begin. You no longer need to strive. You don't chase recognition. You don't seek approval. You've moved into a state where your validation is internal, your joy is self-generated, and your greatness is undeniable. You've become so familiar with success in your mind that it's no longer a goal, it's a given. So familiar with abundance that lack doesn't even occur to you. So intimate with excellence that mediocrity feels foreign. You are not trying to be seen. You're simply allowing the world to catch up to what you already know. And it will, because it must, because nothing can resist a sustained assumption held with conviction. You are the chosen one, not because someone said so, but because you chose yourself. You appointed yourself. You crowned yourself in the silence of your own mind. And now you live from that coronation, not needing anyone else to see it, but knowing they eventually will, because the world must confirm what you persistently believe. And you believe now in the fullness of your power, in the totality of your greatness, without doubt, without delay. You don't entertain questions like, can I? You live in the declaration of I already have. You don't ask, when will it happen? You move as one for whom it's already done. That shift, subtle, invisible, internal, is the key. It is the secret, and you've unlocked it. You live it, you are it. Every cell of your being now vibrates with certainty. Every word you speak is backed by the authority of someone who knows the law and lives by it. You don't bend to fear. You don't bow to appearances. You stand in your knowing like a lighthouse in a storm, unmoved, unbothered, untouchable. You have made the decision, and now all things bend to that decision. You are not swayed by time. Time is your servant now. You move in divine timing, knowing that delay is an illusion and everything you desire is already moving toward you the moment you assume it. You trust not in the clock, but in the law. And the law says, what you feel as true must harden into fact. And so you keep your state pure, you keep your assumption clean, you protect your inner world as the sacred space it is, you feed it only that which aligns with the highest. You no longer entertain the version of you who questioned their greatness. You only breathe life into the one who knows they are the best, who walks in that knowing, speaks in that knowing, lives in that knowing until there is nothing else. You are not pretending, you are remembering, you are not reaching, you are receiving. And you receive not through force, but through alignment, through the magnetic pull of someone who no longer negotiates with doubt, who no longer identifies with anything less than the highest. You are the highest, and everything in your life now must reflect that. And if it doesn't yet, you do not flinch, you do not panic, you smile, because you know the truth, and the truth always wins. The truth always reveals itself. You do not need to push, you do not need to rush. You hold your state, you hold your crown, you hold your vision until the world has no choice but to mirror it. This is who you are now. This is your standard. This is your throne. You have arrived. Not in the future, not one day, but now. And from this place all things flow. From this place all things align. From this place you move as the best. Because you are the best, not becoming, being, not trying, embodying. And that embodiment is everything. That is the key. That is the fire. That is the truth that makes all things bend. So now you no longer wonder, no longer ask, no longer wait. You know. And in that knowing, everything shifts. You walk as the cause, speak as the power, live as the greatest, because that is who you are. That is who you've always been, beneath the noise, beneath the doubt, beneath the illusion. This is not the performance, this is remembrance. This is the moment you claim, not just with words, but with your entire being, I am the best. No one is better than me, not for ego, not for comparison, but because I've aligned with the truth of my own divinity, my own power, my own authority. And from this truth, I do not retreat, I do not bend, I do not wait. I reign, I rise, I embody, I am. Tonight, I invite you to step beyond words, beyond mere repetition of ideas, and enter into the living experience of the truth. For it is not enough to say you are wealthy, to affirm that you are loved, to proclaim that you are free. You must feel it. You must clothe yourself in the feeling of your desire fulfilled. You must walk as though it were already so, breathe as though the miracle were already yours. Let me teach you how to feel it. Begin by stilling the senses. Close the outer eye to the world that argues with your desire. Silence the ear that listens to facts and figures. Let every sense withdraw its gaze from the outer man and turn inward to the secret place where the real work is done. There, in the silence, imagine not as a distant observer, but as a participant. Let the scene of your heart's wish unfold before you. Do not see it as something you want. See it as something you already possess. Feel the texture of the life you desire. Feel the weight of it, the fragrance, the sound. If it is freedom you seek, how would it feel to wake up tomorrow unburdened? If it is love, how would your heart swell at the presence of your beloved? If it is wealth, what texture would the notes of abundance bring to your fingertips? Make it real. Make it now. You do not need to know how it will come. That is not your work. Your work is to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, to feel it so completely that outer facts are compelled to mirror the inner act. In the depths of feeling, you move mountains without lifting a hand. In feeling, you command armies of circumstance to arrange themselves in your favor. Every creation is first a feeling. The world you see is only the shadow of inner emotions, pushed out and made solid. Choose this day what you will feel, for what you feel with intensity and persistence will harden into fact. Let your mood become your prayer. Let your assumption become your altar. Rest in the knowledge that what you accept inwardly with feeling must one day manifest outwardly as certainty. Do not strain, do not force, simply relax into the knowing. Assume the gentle tone of already having received, and let that tone color your thoughts, your words, your steps. The feeling itself is the secret bridge. Cross it, and you will find that you have left behind the old world and stand firmly in the land of your desire. The outer world need not applaud you, nor understand the mystery you practice. You need no permission. You need only the courage to believe more in your feeling than in your facts. Persist in the feeling and the world must bend. Persist, and what once seemed impossible will rise like the morning sun. When you awaken in the morning, do not rise and greet the same old world. Rise and greet your new world. Enter into it with feeling. Before your feet touch the floor, clothe yourself again in the mood of fulfillment. Ask yourself, if it were already true, how would I move? How would I speak? How would I think? And let your entire day become an offering of that new state of consciousness. No one can do this for you. You are the operant power. You must take up the responsibility of choosing your inner world. You must feel the unseen as more real than the seen, and walk by faith in the unseen until the unseen. Feel the joy of answered prayer. Feel the thrill of accomplishment, even before the accomplishment takes form. If you can persist in the feeling, if you can lose yourself so completely in the assumed reality that you forget the old man, then you will find the world reforming itself around your assumption, as clay takes the shape of the mold into which it is pressed. Understand, feeling is the secret key. It is not cold words, nor intellectual debates, nor long prayers uttered in fear. It is the secret act of feeling yourself to be what you desire to be. It is in that silent, secret act that you rewrite your destiny. You change your world by changing the tone of your inner being. There is no power outside of you. All that you behold, though it appears without, is within you, in your own wonderful human imagination. The whole of creation lives within you. You walk through your own consciousness. Therefore, when you change the feeling of your inner world, the outer world must mirror it faithfully. Do not be discouraged by seeming delays. Every seed has its appointed time to blossom. A seed planted in the soil does not bloom in the instant it is sown, yet already it is destined to bear fruit. So it is with your assumptions. Persist in the assumption long enough, and you will see it blossom into fact. If doubt should arise, and it may, for the old man dies hard, do not wrestle with it. Simply return quietly and lovingly to the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Do not fight shadows. Turn your attention instead to the light of your fulfilled desire. Feel it, rest in it, trust it. You are not a beggar in this world. You are the dreamer, dreaming your life into being. Whatever you dare to assume as true of yourself, with feeling, with conviction, becomes your experience. There is no one to change but self. Your world is yourself pushed out and made visible. Change your feeling about self, and the world must conform. Take this wonderful gift and practice it nightly. Before you sink into sleep, let the feeling of fulfilled desire lull you into unconsciousness. Let it sink so deeply into your being that it takes root and grows even as you sleep. Sleep in the assumption, and you will awaken to its harvest. There is a difference between thinking of your desire and thinking from it. When you think of your desire, you place it outside yourself, distant, something to be acquired. When you think from your desire, you are already in possession of it. You move in the world wearing the consciousness of fulfillment. You speak from the state of already being. Feeling from the wish fulfilled is the open door through which all that you desire rushes to greet you. It is a mystery to the world, but simple to those who practice. The foolishness of feeling will confound the wisdom of men, for they seek to change the world by force, by effort, by endless striving. But you will know that feeling is the only law, and by feeling you move invisible forces that shape destiny itself. You are not called to fight against the evidence of the senses. You are called to feel beyond them. You are called to live from a higher law, where the unseen is more substantial than the seen. If you can feel the reality of your desire even while the senses deny it, you will call forth miracles. Walk as though every step you take is a step inside the dream already fulfilled. Speak as though every word you utter comes from the heart of your accomplished goal. Think as one who already has, and the world will rearrange itself to fit your assumption. Practice the art of revision. If a day displeases you, do not accept it. Rewrite it in feeling before you sleep. Feel that it unfolded differently, better, in harmony with your wish. Feel the gratitude of the corrected day as if it had been so. In this simple way, you master your destiny. There is no limit to the power within you, except the limit you impose by failing to feel. Every barrier is a belief hardened into fact. Melt the barriers with the fire of feeling. Feel yourself free, and you will be. Feel yourself loved, and love will flood your life. Feel yourself abundant, and abundance will find every door open to it. Forget the past. It has no hold on you unless you drag it into the present by memory and feeling. Forgive it, release it, and clothe yourself anew in the feeling of what you desire to be. Each moment is a new birth, if you will but accept it. Each breath is a chance to choose again. In your wonderful human imagination lies the secret of all creation. The secret is this: What you feel, you become. It is not by might nor by power, but by the Spirit within you that all things are made. Spirit moves by assumption, by feeling, by claiming inwardly what the senses have not yet confirmed. So dare to feel it now. Dare to live it inwardly now. Dare to believe against all appearances. The world will mock you. It may scorn your inner conviction, but stand firm. For the unseen things are eternal, while the seen are but temporary and fleeting. You are the operant power. It is your privilege, your duty, your joy to claim for yourself the states you wish to express. No one can do it for you. No one can think your thoughts or feel your feelings. You are the master of your fate because you are the master of your inner world. Your feeling be your compass. Let it guide you, steady you, carry you across the seeming deserts of delay and doubt. Trust it. For feeling is the secret language by which the infinite reveals itself to the finite. In feeling, you meet God. In feeling, you touch the creative word that shapes all things. Persist, therefore, in the joyous assumption of your heart's desire. Persist without strain, without effort, simply by knowing that what you feel in the silence must be shouted from the rooftops of fact. It must be, for it already is in the world unseen, awaiting only your sustained feeling to precipitate it into sight. Feel yourself into the state you desire to express. Feel it until you are saturated with it, until it becomes more natural to feel from the wish fulfilled than from the doubts and fears of the world. When you master the art of feeling, you master life itself. For life is nothing more than the outpicturing of inner states felt deeply and consistently. Do not wait for permission from the outer world to claim what you desire. You need no validation from any man. You are the only authority in your world, and your feeling is the decree that commands all things to move in obedience to your inner assumption. Your feeling, once accepted as truth, becomes the law that governs your experience. Learn to move in the inner world with confidence. Learn to dwell in the end. Imagine beyond the senses. Feel beyond appearances, and when doubts rise up, as they surely will, answer them not with argument, but with deeper feeling. Do not reason with the old man. Simply feel yourself to be what you long to be, and let the feeling drown out all contradictions. Your feeling is not a weak thing, nor a passive thing. It is the strongest force you possess. It is the creative power itself, clothed in the garment of emotion. It is the bridge between the unseen and the seen. It is the invisible current that draws conditions, circumstances, people, and events to you, magnetized by the tone of your inner being. When you feel it, when you sustain it, the whole vast world moves to bring about the fulfillment of your inner vision. You are not isolated. You are not abandoned. The very fabric of life is woven to answer your assumption. All things are connected, and all things conspire to bring forth what you most deeply and consistently feel to be true. Feel it now, not tomorrow, not when the evidence appears, now. For now is the only moment of power. Now is the appointed hour. Now is the accepted time. When you feel it now, you claim dominion now, and the harvest is assured. For feeling is the seed, and the world is the soil. Live as though your desire were already a fact. Think from it, act from it, feel from it. Let every conversation, every decision, every step you take spring naturally from the new state you have claimed. And do not betray your assumption by speaking of lack, by thinking of delay, by feeling separation from your desire. Stand firm, immovable, in the conviction that what you have assumed, you have received. The world will tempt you to look at appearances. It will beckon you to return to the old man, to agree with facts, to bow before circumstances. But you must remember that circumstances are shadows, and shadows have no power over the one who knows the truth of being. You are not here to worship shadows. You are here to create reality. by the sustained, deliberate, joyful assumption of the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Take your attention away from what you do not want, starve it of your energy, refuse it the nourishment of your thought and feeling. Instead, feast upon the vision of your fulfilled desire. Nourish it with love, with gratitude, with certainty. Give it the substance of your inner world, and it will take form in the outer world. You are the center of your universe. You are the light from which all things radiate. When you change your feeling, you change the world that mirrors you. There is no other way. There is no outside cause. Nothing comes from without. All things come from within. Feel it within, and it must appear without. Understand that your imagination, your feeling, is not a place of fantasy, but the only reality there is. The senses may lag behind, but they must follow, they must reflect the changes made in the secret place of the Most High. Your Father, who sees in secret, rewards you openly, but the secret place is your own wonderful human imagination. When you pray, believe that you have received and you shall receive. Notice the tense, not you will received, you have received. Feel it done, feel it real. Let the end be so vivid, so alive, so true within you that you need no confirmation from without. Your confirmation is your feeling. Your evidence is the certainty that wells up within you when you dwell faithfully in the state of fulfillment. Let others live by facts if they must. You live by feeling. Let others be governed by appearances. You govern appearances by assuming the state desired and feeling it into reality. Your feeling is the law. Your feeling is the cause. Your feeling is the power. Speak to yourself inwardly as one who already possesses what you have claimed. Let your inner conversations reflect your new state. When doubts arise, do not be alarmed. Simply turn away from them as you would turn from a stranger on the street. Return your attention to the feeling of the wish fulfilled and abide there. Abiding in the feeling is the secret. It is not a fleeting thing. It is not a momentary wish. It is a sustained dwelling, a habitual occupancy of the state desired. You must make it your home, your dwelling place, your resting place. You do not plant a seed and dig it up every hour to see if it has taken root. You plant it, you water it with feeling, and you trust the unseen processes of growth. So it is with your assumptions. Plant them deep in the feeling of fulfillment, water them with gratitude, guard them against the weeds of doubt, and trust the unseen processes of life to bring forth the harvest in due season. Do not try to hasten the outer manifestation. That is not your concern. Your only concern is the inner state. When the inner state is right, the outer world must conform. It has no choice, for it is your own projection made visible. Remember always that the world is a mirror. It reflects not what you want, but what you are conscious of being. Therefore, become conscious of being the one you desire to be. Feel yourself into the role. Play it inwardly. Wear it as a garment. And the mirror must show you your reflection. You have been given dominion over all things, but you exercise that dominion only through feeling. It is feeling that moves the invisible hands of creation. It is feeling that calls forth the things that are not seen and makes them seen. It is feeling that creates the new world. Therefore, be bold, be daring, be joyful. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled with the innocence of a child and the faith of a seer. Let your heart be light, your spirit soaring, your imagination free. You are not bound by facts. You are not limited by history. You are not shackled by appearances. You are free, for you are imagination itself, and imagination creates reality. Whatever you can feel as true, you can experience as fact. Whatever you can sustain inwardly, you will externalize outwardly. Therefore, practice the art of feeling. Practice it when you wake, Practice it when you walk, practice it when you work, practice it when you lie down to sleep. Let your whole life become a meditation on feeling the wish fulfilled. Let it become the silent music to which you dance, the invisible aroma that perfumes your days, the hidden light that illumines your path. There is no power outside of you. The kingdom of heaven is within you. You carry it with you wherever you go. It is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom, but you must claim it by feeling it yours. You are always feeling something. You are always assuming something. The question is not whether you are creating, but what you are creating. Therefore, choose wisely. Choose joy. Choose love. Choose abundance. Choose freedom. Choose the highest and best, and feel yourself to be already in possession of it. And when you fall short, when you forget, when you are tempted to believe in lack and limitation, do not condemn yourself. Simply return. Return again and again to the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Return to your center. Return to your power. Return to your true self, which is imagination, which is spirit, which is life itself. In feeling, you awaken the sleeping giant within you. In feeling, you summon the forces of heaven and earth to move on your behalf. In feeling, you step into your inheritance as a son, a daughter of the Most High. Therefore, feel it now. Feel yourself radiant with health, clothed in beauty, surrounded by love, rich in abundance, walking in wisdom. Feel it not as a wish, but as a fact. Feel it until it is more real to you than the chair upon which you sit, the walls that surround you, the name you bear. Feel it until the world cannot help but echo your inner song. Feel it until the mountains are moved, the seas are parted, and the impossible becomes inevitable. Feel it and you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. Feel it until you forget the former things, until the memories of limitation no longer hold any substance, until you no longer look back in regret, but only forward in the assurance of fulfillment. Let the feeling possess you so completely that you become blind to anything that denies it and deaf to anything that questions it. The old man, the man of doubt and fear, will knock upon the door of your mind. Let him knock. Do not open. Do not answer. Remain in your dwelling place in the temple of fulfilled feeling, and the old man will grow tired and wander away. It is not in struggling against the old that you find freedom. It is in abiding in the new. Every state you could ever desire already exists. Creation is finished. You do not create by bringing something new into existence. You create by selecting from the infinite states that already are. You select by feeling. You move from one state to another by feeling. It is not by might, nor by force, nor by outer effort, but by the quiet, determined acceptance of the inner reality. When you feel it real, you enter into union with your desire. You become one with it, and in that oneness it must express itself. It cannot do otherwise, for all things must reproduce after their own kind. Feeling is the seed, and every seed must bring forth according to its nature. Let your feeling be pure. Let it be simple. Let it be sure. You do not need to know how the bridge of incidents will unfold. You do not need to trace the path. You simply need to trust the process and abide in the feeling of accomplishment. If in your imagination you can walk as the one who has already achieved, if you can think as that one would think, speak as that one would speak, act as that one would act, then you are faithfully occupying the new state. And the outer world will, in perfect time, reveal the evidence of your inner occupancy. Feel the satisfaction now. Feel the gratitude now. Gratitude is the song of accomplishment. When you are truly grateful, not in words but in feeling, you are acknowledging that you have received. And when you acknowledge it inwardly, you must receive it outwardly. For the law of consciousness is immutable. The world responds to your inner conversations. It listens not to your public prayers, but to your silent assumptions. It watches not the motions of your body, but the motions of your heart. Therefore, set your inner conversations aright. Speak inwardly as one who already possesses the blessing. Tell yourself quietly, constantly, convincingly that you are already that which you long to be. Do not allow the outer delay to dismay you. Do not permit the absence of outer evidence to shake your faith. Faith is feeling unseen reality more vividly than seen appearances. Faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the conviction of things not seen. It is the inner certainty that what you have felt real in the silence will proclaim itself loudly in the daylight. Practice the art of inner conviction. Practice it with joy, with reverence, with playful expectation. Do not make it heavy or solemn. Life is a great adventure, and you are the dreamer of dreams, the maker of worlds, the creator of all that you shall ever experience. When you feel it real, you do not need to beg, you do not need to plead, you do not need to struggle. You simply accept. You accept the gift that has always been yours by divine right. You accept your inheritance. You accept your power. You accept your divinity. And when the world seems to contradict your inner acceptance, remember, it is only the echo of old assumptions, the fading shadow of states you no longer occupy. Do not turn back to pick up the old garments. Do not return to Egypt. Press on into the promised land, the land flowing with milk and honey, the land where your every dream is fulfilled in the abundance of being. Feel yourself rich beyond measure. Feel yourself loved beyond reason. Feel yourself whole beyond doubt. Feel yourself radiant, victorious, free. Feel it, not for a moment, but as the continuous undercurrent of your life, the secret melody that no one else hears but which shapes all that you see and touch and know. Understand this deeply. You do not attract what you want, you attract what you are conscious of being. Therefore, be conscious of being the one you desire to be. Assume it, claim it, feel it, and live from it. There is no one to convince but yourself. There is no one to persuade but your own heart. And when you have persuaded your heart, when you have convinced yourself beyond wavering, then nothing can stand against you. No circumstance, no delay, no appearance can defeat the one who feels himself already victorious. Life is a mirror, and you are the face it reflects. Smile within, and life smiles without. Feel joy within, and life sings it back to you. Feel abundance within, and life pours out its treasures at your feet. Do not think for a moment that your dreams are too big, your desires too grand. Nothing is impossible to him who believes, and believing is feeling. The greater your feeling of certainty, the swifter your manifestation. Therefore, dare to feel largely, dare to feel magnificently, dare to expand the borders of your imagination until you stand amazed at the grandeur of your own inner kingdom. Let every day be an opportunity to practice. When doubts arise, do not condemn yourself. Simply return to the feeling of the wish fulfilled. When appearances seem stubborn, do not argue with them. Simply deepen the feeling within. Rest in the knowing that feeling precedes form, and that form must yield to feeling. You are the master of all that you perceive. You are the lord of your own experience. Your world is your consciousness, pushed out and made visible. Change your consciousness, and you change your world. If you will but feel it now, if you will but accept it now, if you will but dwell in it now, you will find that the world reshapes itself around your assumption, gently, easily, inevitably. You need not manipulate outer things. You need not coerce others. You need not scheme or struggle or strive. Your feeling, faithfully maintained, will draw to you all that is necessary for its expression. People will play their parts perfectly. Circumstances will arrange themselves harmoniously. Opportunities will appear as if by magic. But it is not magic, it is law, simple, sure, unfailing. Dare to trust your feeling more than you trust your eyes. Dare to believe in the unseen more than the seen. Dare to walk by faith and not by sight. For faith is the vision of the invisible, and feeling is the proof of things not yet made manifest. When you feel it, you become it. When you sustain the feeling, you sustain the state. And when the state is sustained, it externalizes itself, without effort, without strain, without struggle. Therefore, enter into the feeling with joy, abide in it with peace, sustain it with love, and watch as the world melts before you, reshaping itself into the image and likeness of your innermost assumption. There is nothing to change but self. There is nothing to do but feel. There is nothing to conquer but doubt. Make this gift and make it your own. Practice it quietly, faithfully, lovingly, and you shall know the truth of these words. Whatsoever things you desire, when you pray, believe that you have received them, and you shall have them. Believe it now. Feel it now, live it now, for now is the accepted time. Now is the day of salvation. Therefore go within and claim it boldly. Walk in the assumption that it is already yours. Feel it until it saturates every corner of your mind and heart. Let no outer appearance shake you, no delay discourage you, no seeming obstacle turn you aside. Stand unwavering in the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Persist in it lovingly, joyfully, peacefully, and the world will reshape itself around your inner conviction. You do not need to beg, strive, or struggle. You only need to feel, to believe, and to live inwardly, from the reality of your desire. All things are ready for you. All things are prepared. Now assume your rightful place, feel yourself into possession of your desire, and rest in the joyful certainty that what you have accepted as true within must express itself without. It is done.